Have you ever seen a plant that just looks, well, slumped over?
Yeah.
Almost like it pulled an all-nighter and just can't quite stand up straight anymore.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into something that can cause exactly that, gibberellic acid, or GA3. It's this really interesting story about plant growth.
And sometimes, yeah, maybe a bit too much growth.
Exactly.
That's right. GA3 is it's a compound with a really dual nature. It's a powerful growth accelerator, which sounds great, but it can be both a friend and a foe to plants, depending on the situation.
Context is everything, then.
Totally. So our mission today is really to unpack GA3's, let's say, surprising role in making plants taller, why that can sometimes be a real problem for growers,
Okay.
how we deal with those issues, and also where GA3 is actually an incredibly useful tool.
Right. So when we talk about this too much growth, what do we actually see? Is there a specific term for that problem? You mentioned it being a problem for growers.
Absolutely. Yeah, the core issue, the main headache, is often something called lodging. Lodging. It's basically excessive stem elongation. The plant shoots up too tall too fast, and its stems just, well, they can't hold up their own weight. We saw a really clear example with mint plants in our research. The stems would literally buckle or even snap.
Oh, wow. Where would they break?
Usually right down at the base, or maybe the lower internodes, the sections of stem between the leaf joints.
Right.
They just weren't strong enough to support the top growth. Think of it like trying to build a really tall tower with a weak foundation.
That makes sense. And I imagine that's a big deal for farmers.
Oh, huge. Especially with big crops like wheat or corn. If you get severe lodging, it can mean major yield losses. It's a real economic hit.
And once a plant sort of gets the lean or it's actually lodged, what can a grower do? Is there any way to reverse it, like prop it back up?
Unfortunately, no. Once that elongation happens, it's done. It isn't reversible.
So no plant chiropractor then?
No. Your options are pretty limited by that point.
Yeah.
You can prune the elongated stems, and if you section them the right way, you might be able to use them as cuttings for propagation. Start new plants.
Right. Propagate.
Otherwise, you're mostly looking at adding physical support. Things like trellises or staking them up.
Just holding them up?
Exactly. It's really just managing the symptom after the fact, not fixing the underlying cause.
So if it's already slumped, it's kind of too late for an easy fix. That makes GA3 sound mostly like a problem. But you mentioned this dual nature thing earlier.
I did, yes.
So there must be a good side. This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it?
It really does because, yeah, despite causing lodging in some plants, GA3 is actually kind of perfect for others. Think about vines or climbing plants.
Oh, right, like grapes.
Exactly like grapes. Their whole natural way of growing involves trailing or climbing. GA3 fits right in. It's almost like the compound, understands their growth style. And that's precisely why it's a standard tool in commercial grape farming, a real staple.
For making them climb better.
Well, partly, but it's more about enhancing fruit growth, getting bigger berries, and maybe even more importantly.
Yes.
It's commonly used to help induce seedless fruits.
Seedless grapes.
Yep. That's a huge plus for consumers, right? Imagine grapes always having seeds. GA3 helps prevent that in many varieties.
That is fascinating. So, okay, it helps some plants grow bigger fruit or go seedless, which is great, but we still want to avoid that uncontrolled collapsing growth in other plants.
Correct.
So how do growers manage that? What are the solutions for dealing with those less desirable effects? Is it just more chemistry?
It's often about targeted chemistry, yes, but it's about balance. You can definitely lessen GA3's unwanted elongation effects using other compounds called Plant Growth Regulators, or PGRs.
PGRs.
And these PGRs, what they do is quite clever, actually. They work by inhibiting GA synthesis.
Meaning they stop the plant from making so much GA3 in the first place.
Exactly. They slow down the plant's natural production line for this specific growth hormone.
And the result?
The result is shorter, stockier, more robust stems. Stems that can stand up strong and resist that lodging.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Are there other ways?
Yeah, another approach is a bit more strategic. Applying GA3, but only to plant species or varieties that are naturally more resistant to lodging.
Right.
Like certain dwarf varieties, for instance. They're often bred specifically to handle growth spurts without buckling. So you get some benefits of GA3 without the major downside.
So it's not a perfect fix for every single situation, but it gives growers some powerful options.
Definitely. Tools for the toolkit.
Okay, so wrapping this up. what does all this mean for, you listening, whether you're a gardener yourself or just curious about how nature works?
Well, I think the really big question this raises is how do we best use these powerful natural compounds like GA3? How do we harness them for specific benefits in agriculture or horticulture,
Right.
while also really understanding and mitigating the less desirable side effects? It's always the search for balance, isn't it, between natural processes and how we intervene.
It really is. So maybe the next time you see any plant, tall or short, leaning or standing straight,
Right.
take a second. Consider the hidden chemical symphony playing out inside, dictating its shape, its growth.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, what other seemingly simple things in nature, like a plant just growing, are actually far more complex and nuanced than we might first imagine, full of potential, but also maybe some unexpected challenges?